Hello! This is James. The deck I have today is very extra special. We are combining the fiery destruction engine of the Volcanics with the Fabled monsters, all of whom wear a mask except for the elephant, and they have discard / in the graveyard effects. And just for the synergy, we are using Snipe Baby. So let's begin with Snipe Baby, who also wears a mask, so it's just perfect. You can discard a card, and you have a 2/3 chance of destroying. We have Volcanic Rocket, that when we normal summon him, we get a free Blaze Accelerator. We're using Fabled Solkius. If this card is in the graveyard, you can send 2 cards, except Fabled Solkius, from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from the graveyard. The Fabled Ganeshia, when this card is discarded, special summon it. If it's special summoned, it gains 200 attack. We have our 3 Volcanic Shells, pay 500 life points, and you can add a Volcanic Shell from your deck to your hand, and it must be in the graveyard to use this effect. So naturally, you discard a Volcanic Shell for one of your destroy monsters, and then you can use the Volcanic Shell to mill out more Volcanic Shells and thin out your deck. Thinning is winning. We have 2 enemy controllers and 3 Ultimate Providences to shut down the Sylvan players. Finally, our star of the show, Fabled Gayabas. You can discard this card to the graveyard to select and destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls with defense less than or equal to this card's attack. This is not a once per turn. This is not a chance of destruction. It's just if this monster targets a monster with 1500 or less defense, then it gets destroyed and you have all of your card discarding synergies. I feel like this card is being looked over to the detriment of all of us, because 1500 destroying 1500 or less defense point monsters is very good. The current metagame is dominated by small and medium-sized monsters. So for example, Sylvan Guardioak has 2400 attack points but only 1500 defense points. That is the perfect target for Fabled Gayabas. He smashes them with that big mace ball looking thing. So let's talk substitutions. So for our Snipe Baby, we could go this 2/3 of a chance to destroy any card. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. Mostly we're using him for his discard effect, so we can get our Ganeshias. I could replace him with an Elemental Hero Ice Edge. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by direct attack, you can target one set spell card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone, destroy that target. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can discard a card. This card can attack your opponent directly this turn. So it puts pressure, and if you get a power-up card on him, that's pretty strong. So we're also using our backup rider and our Fabled Solkius. Fabled Solkius, if he's in the graveyard, you can send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, special summon him. And then backup rider, I was thinking you could power up Gayabas and then just destroy any monster that you wanted, any face-up monster. But neither of these 2 cards came up. I didn't really need them, and I didn't see them all that much. I drew him, but I didn't use him, and I never saw this. So I think that you can replace those 2 with Kaki, Gorilla of the Dark World. So this is another discard synergy card. So you'll want to, if you're doing him, you want to have more discard monsters. But if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, target one monster on the field, destroy that target. So you get your Gayabas destroy, and then you get your Kaki destroy, all for the low price of 1 discarded monster. Okay, wait, let's put this back to how it was. And but this is the deck in its original form for the replays, and we are using the restart skill in order to basically you want to reshuffle your Blaze Accelerator and then if you have too many volcanic shells, you also want to restart for that. Restart is great for these destroy decks. Let's see that saving, and let's take a look at some replays. Move me over, like so. All right, first replay is up against my Valentine, and it's Gears. The other new free-to-play archetype besides Amazoness. I know it says Gear, but it's Gears, guys. That's the better name. All right, so we're going second. And she activates Balance, which I actually prefer to restart, but restart's better for this deck. And we don't activate our restart because this is as good of a hand as we can possibly expect. We have our volcanic shells. We have 2 of them. That's not great, but we have our free +1, and the volcanic shells are +1. And you always like to see Gayabas. She's gonna Gear Ties of the Brethren. This is the new control deck, so she gets all her Gears out, which is foolish because we have our Fabled Gayabas, and Fabled Gayabas is just going to destroy all of this mess. Discard shell, destroy. Discard shell, destroy. Mill out our 3rd shell, discard, destroy, attack for 1500 damage. It's looking horrible. She destroys Fabled Gayabas, but that's okay. We have a second one. Get our destroy. Discard the Snipe Baby. We get cursed. And we get destroyed by Gear Arsenal. And we're going to Volcanic Rocket. We're going to get our +1. And we're going to set our Ultimate Providence. So Ultimate Providence and Blaze Accelerator. We get to block any spell. But she does not have her protection traps, so we get our win. And with all of the monsters in this deck to be discarded, Ultimate Providence effectively is negating monster effects, and therefore it gets upgraded into a Divine Wrath. So enjoy your Ultimate Rare status, Ultimate Providence. We're going against Bandit Keith again. And Bandit Keith is a great choice for these shoot-'em-up destroy decks, because Bandit Keith is the only character in the anime that uses a gun. Okay, set our Volcanic Shell in the hopes that they'll actually destroy it, and then we use our Snipe Baby, and we destroy that merchant. Okay, so Sylvans confirmed, we get that Ganashia synergy, and we get that sweet damage. Tributes the Rose Lover, takes my Snipe Baby, and destroys my Face Down, which is actually helpful, so that's great. Now, I don't activate the Ultimate Providence because I don't want to give up my +1, and I don't want to destroy my own monster. Because I can't, I won't, I mean, you can see the Rose Lover play coming from far away, but there's nothing I can do. Either I destroy the Snipe Baby or I lose my Ultimate Providence. And he mills out a Martial Leaf and a World Tree and a card that's going to the bottom of the deck. And Silver Martial Leaf does not destroy the Ganashia, destroys the Snipe Baby because he wants to protect his Guardioch in future turns. Now, we get our Gayabas. We +1 off of the Volcanic Shell. And we destroy the Guardioch. See there. Guardioch gone. That's our game. Yeah, so Bandit Keith, he actually uses real guns in the anime, and in the show, in the anime in Japan, when he gets disqualified for cheating / loses to Joey in Duelist Kingdom, he jumps up on Pegasus's pedestal and sticks a gun in his face. But in the anime, they made he's just pointing. He's just pointing. And in the manga, it's grosser. He corners Pegasus like afterwards, and then Pegasus uses the dark magic to make the gun like morph into his hand and then force him to shoot himself. So we are going to restart because we started with our Blaze Accelerator, so we're going to restart that off. It's very important to keep those +1s. And here's a Hammer Shark with Mythic Depths, and that means fish. So who's the better destroy deck? Our Volcanic Rocket gets powered down by Umi, and we're going to get our +1, our Blaze Accelerator. Since I know the fish back row, and this is too weak to attack, so we're going to go for the Blaze Accelerator Destroy. And so he goes ahead and pops it off with his Fish Depth Charge, since he loses his monster either way, and he'd rather draw a card. Golden Flying Fish destroys or tributes the Swamp Thing, and goes for my Ultimate Providence, which is convenient because I can just use Ultimate Providence and destroy Golden Flying Fish and the Ganashia Synergy. But he has a second Swamp Thing, which is just so strong. Destroys my Volcanic Rocket. And here, so we can't go for lethal, so we're just going to put it in defense and destroy it and get some damage. And Oystermeister is going to destroy, so now it's just a back and forth punching fest. We're going to suicide the Ganashia and get very frustrating. Get 600 life points remaining. Second Oystermeister, and we're going to stall with the Volcanic Shell. Volcanic Shell gets destroyed. But that enables us to +1 off the Volcanic Shell, and we drew Gayabas just in time. Oystermeister is going to set a token. We're not going to attack that because, I mean, this could be anything, but we're definitely not going to attack that Oystermeister token because of Super Rush, and he does not have Powerful Rebirth, and that is our game. I need to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. I need to watch more of it because there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff hiding in there. Here's our second match versus Bones or Bonds. No, it's Bones. And this is like 5 straight wins. I like ranked back up into Legend 2 using this deck, but you know, we also got lucky. We went second a lot. Okay, so we're not going to restart because, I mean, this is really as good as you can expect to have. And there's our Solkius, and his horns don't look like that because it's a cool new design for horns. They look like that because of censorship. It makes him look less like the devil and thus more acceptable for Western audiences. We draw our Snipe Baby, we set our Ultimate Providence, and we whiff, but we +1 off the Volcanic Shell, and we get another Destroy. We're going to go for the Solkius this time. We get it, and it's Sylvans again. So this deck, popping the Sylvans. And so what we could have done was we could have discarded our 2 cards after we got that Destroy, and then special summoned our Solkius, but that would not have been lethal, and we would have been giving up some free Destroy fodder. Okay, so Martial Leaf, that's his normal summon. We're going to Ultimate Providence that, and he has no moves remaining, so he surrenders. See, that's why you don't go for the Solkius willy-nilly. Here's our last replay. Yugi playing Gear Gears. This is Gear Gears again. This is the new control deck because they have Rocket, which the jet, when it's flip down, flip face up, you destroy traps or spell traps, and then the anchor, when it's flip face up, you destroy monsters. So he has his restart. I need to play this deck so I can understand why he restarted. Arsenal, Accelerator, and then, okay, the other card. So he plays his Gear Attacker with a face down. That's probably the Spell Absorbing Life. There's Gear Anchor. And we're going to Ultimate Providence that nonsense. We're going to Ultimate Providence the Gear Attacker. And because the flip monster, it's not useful unless you have other Gears. and he's going to destroy my Volcanic Shell, so thank you. Volcanic Shell, +1, and we're going to go Volcanic Rocket. Volcanic Rocket is going to give us Blaze Accelerator. And because I know, alright, so I want to make sure that this Gear Anchor dies, because I don't want it to, be able to get its flip effect off and destroy all my monsters. So we're not going to mess around, we're going to Blaze Accelerate that off the field, because this deck plays Pulse Mines. So he's going to Accelerator into the attacker, no, Arsenal into the attacker, and then here's the high Tau of the Gears, is the Ties of the Brethren, summon all of his monsters. So he has his full board out, so he gets 2 back row destroy, 2 front row destroy, but to prevent the front row destroy, we're going to tribute off our Ganashia, it's going to get banished, and then so that's the play. He Ties of the Brethren's out his monsters, and then flips the Anchor and the attacker face down, and then Spell Absorbing Life flips them face up. And then so instead of like 2 monsters and 1 spell trap, or the vice versa of that, he gets 2 monsters and 2 spell traps destroyed off of Gear Attacker and Gear Anchor. But since we took the monster destroying one, he only gets to pop the Blaze Accelerator. And here's our Fabled Gayabas. We're gonna get rid of the monster destroying one, and then we're gonna discard our Ganashia. We're gonna get rid of the other dangerous one, and then he just has that left. And there's Pulse Mines. But he's running out of cards. He destroys the Ganashia. Here's our Volcanic Rocket, giving us that sweet +1, and Gayabas is going to go to work once more. He's going to Spell Absorbing Life, gain 400 life points for each effect monster on the field, but it will not be enough to save him. And when that gets sent to the graveyard, he can add a Gear back to his hand, but we have not precise lethal, but pretty good amount of lethal damage. This is the Fabled Destroyer deck, powered by fire. Thank you for watching.